Okay, so for next questions, question 16, they say use Newton-Raphson method with initial approximation. Okay, they are given us initial value is 1 to find out the value for this to find out the x value for this on the interval. So they are given us a few information. So every step we have to find out ourselves. So at the beginning we have to uh, see here. They say this find out this x value. Okay, we're going to find out this x value for this root 6 of 2. Root 6 of 2 on this interval 0, 2. And initial value already given. So means that our 3.1, our this part, we don't need to do lah. We don't need to show that is a root between 0, 2, because initial value already given. So means that we can straight away start calculate using Newton-Raphson method. Unless if we didn't have initial value, then only we have to prove it. We have to prove it to our interval. From that only we can continue. We can guess a value. We can use our initial value from the interval. So for this question, everything is given. Given here, initial value also have. So we can straight away using our Newton-Raphson method. So, but for this question, we don't have any function. So we have to build out our function first. So from here, okay, so are you going to find? Okay, you're going to solve means you're going to find your x. You're going to find your x, which is uh, roots of root 6 of 6 roots of 2. Okay, punca 6, punca kuasa 6 untuk 2, 6 roots of 2. So how I'm going to find the equation? So we have to move the equation one by one back to the left hand side. So if you have 6 roots, when I move it, you will power of 6. Okay, equals to 2. Then move the 2 to the left hand side. It will become minus 2 equals to 0. So you bear in mind we cannot move like this, yeah? We cannot move like this. Because this equation, or when you make it this function, okay, when you make it this function is not convergent function. Only polynomial can give you a nice answer. Later on you want to repeat, right? So you want to repeat your calculation until you get repeated. Okay, so only polynomial function is a convergent function. Sometimes this function is not convergent function, it will divergent. Divergent means that sometimes the value will skip here and there, skip. You cannot find a trend, you cannot find a pattern that you can see the value. Although sometimes the question is tricky, they will give you the value that you look like, oh, this one also can get the value, but cannot. So bear in mind, only polynomial, polynomial function, you have to move one by one. You cannot move directly, the whole number go there. Okay, because of the characteristic of the function. So this part is not inside your syllabus. I just tell you like that only. Okay, you're not going to learn. You're not going to learn this function convergent or not. Okay, you bear in mind when you want to move, you move it in polynomial x power 6. So polynomial function always convergent. Surd function, roots function, not necessarily. Sometimes it convergent, sometimes it does not have. So we avoid that. Okay, we avoid that. Although you can get the answer, but you avoid that this function is not valid. If you move like that, x minus root 6 of 2 is not valid. Okay, not valid function. So when I move that equals to 0, then this function only valid, which is polynomial. Okay, you can just imagine if you move your function like that. So what is this? Linear. So easy, linear minus a number. So when you differentiate, nothing to differentiate also. Okay, so we don't want that function. Okay, once we get our function, once we get a valid function here, we have to differentiate. So that this question has some difficult, that is a function. Sometimes people stuck at the function. When you get the function wrongly, everything will be not accepted. So proceed to our Newton-Raphson method. We need differential function. Power turun depan, power tolak 1, differentiate 2 jadi kosong. And initial value, okay, so we are given initial value x1 is 1. So we follow the label. They start s1, so s1. So next x2, we sub into the formula. Sn plus 1, we write the formula first. X minus function over differential function so that it's easier to refer. X minus function over differential function. So starting value 1, so 1, substitute in your 1, and then we start the calculator working. Function alpha x power 6, then minus 2 over differential function 6 alpha x power 5. Okay, so finish. Calculate the value, initial value 7 per 6. Don't want the fraction, we want decimal because we are playing with decimal. Okay, we are dealing with decimal things. So 3 decimal, I will take extra one lah. Okay, 3 decimal I take extra one. Extra 2 can be accept. Extra 3 cannot. Extra 1 only. So 1, 6, 6, 7. Extra 1, 4 decimal. So should be safe enough to avoid routing error. So you don't take these 3 decimal, yeah. In calculation must be more to avoid routing error. Okay, routing error. So you're going to calculate, repeat again. So 1.1667. Second step, we still need to write out the formula, write out the working, then we calculate. One point 126. 126 what? 4 no need routing. Then the next X we just calculate. Working is not working, this one working, just 2 working already enough. 1.12, like seems like it's getting closer. 49 I have to round off become 5. Haven't repeat yet. Yeah, okay, so repeat 4, 6. So this 6 also round off, so repeated. So once repeated, stop. Conclusion, what's your X? 1.22, 1.1225. So rounding 2, 3. So is it we have rounding error? So we double check, yeah? Now we double check. What's our equation here? Alpha 6 power of 6, then minus 2 alpha equal 0. She solve. Okay, so 1.22224, so should be cannot 223, right? Means that we are taking 2 less decimal here. Alright, so that will be a problem when you're taking 2 less decimal. Okay, so you need to double check again. So plus 1 decimal is not safe enough. Not safe here. So this question have to become plus 2 decimal. So recalculate everything. So this is an example for you when we taking two less decimal rounding error, too much decimal, then we cannot find the repeated value. So normally the most safe, okay, the most safe is plus 2. Okay, so sometimes we cannot just want to short it become with plus 1. Okay, so we will start recalculate everything, double check, just double check. Alpha x power 6 minus 2, then 6 alpha x power 5. So calculate number 1, 667. Okay, so working here also affected. So calculate 1.16667 4. 252497, so 50. 2246. Yes, so only repeated at x6. Okay, then 3 decimal 22. Then only we getting the things is correctly. So that is the benefit. We check our answer, yeah. So from here, I give you the marking scheme. So first of all, selecting the correct function. That will be our basic. Uh, Before that, our function is given. So if this function wrong, everything wrong. So differentiate and then show our Newton-Raphson method and then the finding, getting the first answer. Okay, then calculation until you stop. You know how to stop. That will have 1 marks and rounding off. So that this is how we get our 7 marks.